if you looked at the schedule, you wouldn't have thought it was going to be all that eventful, but it turned out to be. What are a couple of your takeaways before I get to some of mine?
So I'm gonna say this, and I am mad at myself for not sticking to my guns, and I should have stuck to them at the beginning of the season. I'm on one now. At the beginning of the season, I said Georgia isn't that good. They're not that good. They have problems on defense. They're going to be exposed. You can't rebuild a whole defense in a year. No, 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 no. Georgia's great. Georgia's the best team in the nation.
Well,
Look at how
I do think you stuck by your guns. Why you
well I
questioning yourself of questioning yourself? I thought I was the one who said no, they're fine, they're going to reload.
yes, but after the first like two or after the first three games, I was like, okay, fine. Then they're good. Then I eat my words. They're good. And then the last two games, face down, face plant in the ground, Georgia. They are not good. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but they're not who they're posers. They are fakers, they are posers. And Tennessee, I told you would go 10-2, and I said they would beat Georgia, and I will stick by that right now.
So the missus and I go out a rare date night on Saturday night, and we're waiting for a table, and we go sit at the bar, and we're sitting there, and somebody's watching the Georgia game, and the missus, rightfully so, asked that I kind of tune things out when we do these things. So I had, but I look over, and Missouri on this guy's phone, Missouri is leading Georgia, and I said, "Whoa, what's happening there?" And he said, "Yeah, it's pretty close. It's closer than it should be." I said, "Closer than it should be." I said, "Georgia's losing right now and very well could lose the game." I said, "That'd be pretty funny." And he had his shoulder to me, and he turned, and he had a Georgia shirt on. And at that point, he we didn't speak any longer. He turned his back on me, and he was a mad Georgia fan. But Georgia does come back and win. I think there are a lot of things that happened over the weekend, Amanda, that really opened the door for Tennessee to have an even better season. I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I certainly, as what I'm going to mention here momentarily, I'm not in any shape or form celebrating injuries, but you look at Georgia beating Missouri. They needed 14 fourth quarter points to come back and win. Alabama beats Arkansas 49-26 in a game that I thought that score was um, a little I thought the game was closer than that. 49-26, 21 fourth quarter points, and that's Alabama wearing Arkansas down. But that was a ball game. Bryce Young has to go out for a bit. It looks like everything's okay, but we're talking about a throwing shoulder. So does that affect him later for a Tennessee game? Again, we 100% hope he's okay. Ole Miss beats Kentucky 22-19. So this is a very similar type of offense that Lane Kiffin runs that Tennessee does. Not exactly the same, but similar. So they're able to put up 22 with a group of guys that are largely transfer guys. And I think Tennessee can have success against that Kentucky offense. And LSU has to struggle, who Tennessee will play this week, has to struggle to beat Auburn. And at one point, LSU starting quarterback, who we'll talk more about, had to leave the game with an injury as well, but it looks like he is okay. So there are a lot of things. Again, not celebrating injuries whatsoever, and we don't want those to happen. But there are a lot of things that happened over the weekend that would seem to open the door for Tennessee to have even a better opportunity to beat some of the teams that they shouldn't. In particular, Georgia. Georgia just struggle against Missouri when the week before you played horrible against Samford. I mean, if you don't get your players' attention there, you've got to wonder not only about a talent and chemistry thing on the field, you've got to worry about a culture thing. You should come out and make a statement the week after that game.
Yeah, so I'm going to go through what you just discussed. The Georgia team not only looks bad with chemistry on the field, but if you've noticed, and I've seen snippets, there have been sideline problems with Georgia during the games. There have been players getting into it, getting into coaches' faces. Like, I mean, it doesn't look like a respectable organization at the moment. It just doesn't, and does not look as structured as everyone thought that it was. It looks very chaotic over there, and that's a good thing, honestly, for Tennessee. But I think if you're Tennessee, you're glad that Georgia did not lose, because that's what you don't want. You don't want to light a fire under somebody like Georgia, who has the talent, who is just obviously just not, it's not meshing somehow. As far as Alabama is concerned, Bryce Young has a sprained shoulder. He's had this before. He's out normally 2 to 3 days. So, and even if Bryce Young was out in the going to the Arkansas game, Alabama was up 28 to nothing, I think. 21 nothing, and then 28 to 7, maybe, something of that nature. So the game it didn't really look as close as okay. It looked like it was a runaway. Then it looked like it got closer. Then it looked like a runaway again. So it was just a different ball game all in itself. But if you look at Alabama's backup quarterback, Milroe, he looks not just as good as Bryce Young, but close.
Well, and I would think with the talent surrounding them that and the way they recruit that it sounds crazy to say, but a Heisman Trophy winner, there might not be that big of a fall off. The onside kick certainly helped Arkansas as well, but I thought they held up pretty good. Again, I have Arkansas barely on that second tier of teams, so I'm considering the opponent as well.